All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 go like this, so I can say you have one. If you don't have one, raise your hand and I'll come and deliver it, please, this sheet of paper. Please go like this, so I can see that you have it. Boogie, do me a favor, make sure that you've got your name on it right now, please. After you do that, glance to the person to your left or right, make sure he or she put his or her name on it as well. Once you've done that, put your eyes on me for a couple of minutes and we'll move on. Rock and roll. Listen, glance at the rolls. They're exactly the same as yesterday. One, you're going to continue experimenting with the different types of graphite, the H's and B's that we were talking about yesterday. And two, you're going to practice drawing from observation. That means drawing your hand in this case. I want to play a video for you. While you watch the video, I'd like you to answer two questions. They're really easy. Try it on me, please. Thank you. Two questions. One, what is or what might be the most useful thing that you see in the video for you practicing sketching? What's the most useful thing that you see in the video? And two, what questions might you still have? Check with the person sitting next to you. Make sure they know what two questions are that they're going to answer when we start watching the video. Good. If you hear someone has a question, raise your hand like this for them. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Bailey? The second one is questions we're still having. Kids not watching the video, we're still like questions about the sketching. Listen, here's the reality of it. Tune in for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, in every class, this one, my second hour, my fourth hour, I was running around giving about 10 mini demonstrations. And the elbow didn't work out last time. I tried to sketch something. The students didn't see it. It was kind of confusing. So I did it differently last night. I sketched myself, so you're going to hear my dull voice. Bear with me. It's not very long. It's a handful of minutes. But really what I want you to do is to watch the video. Pay attention to things like this. When I say the word anchor, I want you to be able to talk about that with me. Because that becomes really important. I'll say it several times intentionally. And then anything else that you pull from the video, that's really what I want down on that sheet of paper. That's going to be your kickoff class today as well. Okay, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. So look up here, or at one of the screens. I'm going to cut off the lights because it's easier to see. The last thing is this. This gives me an opportunity to go like this as well. I hope, right here. Look, that's my blog. And I'm going to start posting these videos on my blog. So if you want, you know that our agenda every day is on here. Every learning goal, every activity, every assignment that I give goes on my blog. In addition to that, I'm going to start putting videos on here too. I already have it up from last hour, so I don't really have to click on the link. But I just want to kind of throw that out there so that you knew.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Olson. I want to give you a brief demonstration of drawing your hand from observation, which of course is our learning goal right now. This is my hand, and here's my pencil. I have my drawing pencil and my eraser and so on. So, as we talked about a little bit yesterday, you want to get your hand in a really comfortable position. So mine right now, I'm leaving it like this because this would be one of 4 that I could choose from, and it's comfortable enough to leave for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, which is about the length of time that I would spend on my hand. I'm not going to draw the entire thing right now, but I just kind of want to give you an idea. So I kind of leave it like this, and I want to talk to you about the way I look at things, which is how I'm hoping that you'll start to look at things. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make when we draw from observation is that we let our mind interfere. Our mind tells us what we think a hand should look like, rather than just drawing what it is that we see. So remember, what you want to do is to draw what you see. I usually have an anchor, so my thumb right here would be the anchor in my drawing. So the way I would start is, as I've explained before, really light lines. I go really lightly, and I kind of like outline, my anchor for starters. And so when I say anchor, basically what I mean is that everything that I draw will be anchored around this one thing. And the perspective at which you're seeing right now is a little bit different from what I'm seeing. And so it's not going to be entirely the same. So what you're seeing, in other words, is not exactly consistent with what I'm seeing. But once you get kind of like your anchor, you go around, my eye basically follows the outline of my thumb like this. And while I'm doing this, I'm noticing different values right here. It's a lot darker, for instance, so I put in those darker values as I go. And you can be really loose and kind of expressive, and I see, like, I've got some creases in my thumb right here that I'm going to add in. So you can add all of those details in. You want to keep in mind that this is a sketch. So things don't have to be perfect here. In fact, I would expect them to be less than perfect. If ever you make a mistake, kind of go back and you can erase a little bit if you want to. But I would expect things to be not as clean as something that you work on for several days, which we'll do later. But right now, I'm just trying to get like an overview of everything. My eyes, I'm jumping down here, I'm noticing these lines down here, so I would kind of like fill in like that a little bit, come around, and then eventually what I get to is my wrist and this rubber band and so on. So now I'm getting down here and I'm a little confused because I'm getting too far away from my anchor, which is my thumb. So I'm going to come back up to my thumb and kind of work on this a little bit. And now I'm looking over here at my other finger, how it comes outside of my thumb. And I can kind of like sketch in this area here, flip around, and I can see that it kind of comes off. The whole time I'm doing this, I'm constantly measuring. So I'm looking at the space from here to here, and I'm looking at the space from here to see if it's the same. And so I can already see right from here to here is bigger than right here. But my drawing is a little bit bigger than my actual thumb too, so I think I can probably get away with that. So I'm going to come up about like this, and my knuckle up here looks like it comes a little bit above my nail. So I kind of come up here and I measure this part, and I come down, and then I can see my finger, my index finger shoots out over here, so my eye follows